Day one of the National Transportation Safety Board hearings are underway, probing deeper into January's mid-air tragedy near Reagan National Airport. Testimony is expected to go 2 more hours. Our Larry Miller has been listening in all day. He stepped out for a moment to bring us the latest new developments. And Larry, we know this is such a tough time for victims' families, many who are there today.
Leslie, to your point, many families are here today hoping to learn more about the moment before and the moment at impact at which they lost their loved ones. We've spoken to several who say that the details of this investigation are heartbreaking, but they hope that the NTSB will be able to complete its work and to figure out all of the factors and the primary factors that contributed to that deadly crash that claimed the lives of 67 people. A couple of things are being worked through right now in the hearing today. The primary factors, the altitude of that Black Hawk helicopter at the time of impact. There were, at least according to investigators, discrepancies between what the pilots were getting in the cockpit versus the actual altitude at which they were flying. And because investigators say that they were flying so high is what contributed to that impact. We're also looking at Route 4. That is the route used by those helicopters in and around the airport. The NTSB made some urgent recommendations to the U.S. military, to the Army in particular, for them to close or remove Route 4. Here's what the chairwoman of the NTSB told us earlier.
Am I satisfied with their responses on the actions they're going to take? Is that what you're asking? Nope, I am not. I am not satisfied with what I heard in this panel. I'm hoping to hear more in the next panels and perhaps some other panelists. For example, the commander who leads the 12th Battalion might be able to tell us that they are taking additional measures, and he will be testifying on the next panel.
Well, I've been arguing all along that one of the primary causes of this accident was a cultural problem at the Army unit, and I haven't heard anything that changed that thesis. There are a lot of technical things about barometric altimeters and flight data recorders that they're going through many hours of kind of boring testimony, right? That's kind of a distraction from the real root causes of this accident.
All right, so the first soundbite that you heard was from the chairwoman of the NTSB, speaking specifically to those recommendations made by the NTSB to the U.S. Army. Now, they've made some of those changes, primarily moving Route 4 away from the airport. But there were other recommendations that were made that she is hoping will be implemented, and even more once this investigation is complete. The second soundbite you heard was that of Mr. Lilly. He is the father of Sam Lilly, who was the co-pilot on American Eagle Flight 5342. He has a belief that culture really is at the root of it. One of those things that we expect for investigators to at least talk about in the days to come, but no doubt investigators say that their work is far from over and that they continue to hold these hearings today, tomorrow, and on Friday, hoping to get more answers as their investigation continues and they were able to wrap this up and to give us a final determination. Leslie?
Interesting to hear from Tim Lilly there, who this has to be agonizing for him because he has been both a pilot of a jet and a pilot of a Black Hawk helicopter. He knows the route his son was on well. Just the search for answers for him, and knowing that they had traveled some of these same spaces together, and now hearing this, connecting the dots, this has to be, even though he was able to communicate quite well with you, a pretty emotional time for him as well. All right, Larry, we'll check back in with you a little bit later.